they've got time there. Final will be at 4:10 about this afternoon.
Is that the last final of the day? I certainly think Ohio State will be joining
Pretty
the
much,
UL
yeah.
composite. So we'll look back towards the start. For race 333, it's the first semi-final of the Junior 16 quads. It's a Cambridge 99 Isle of Ely Kings Ely composite on the Berkshire station and Maidenhead Rowing Club A on the Buckinghamshire station. Crews come forward and ready. Nice clean starts, always good to see. We don't want any early drama, although Cambridge have looked to be moving into the middle of the river.
I wonder if it's just the angle. Every time I look at this, I see the crew that looks like they're moving into the middle of the river. These boys, they do veer out a little bit, I think, and so it makes it look like that. Because I made some. They're definitely coming across a bit, aren't they? There.
The umpires see no need to get involved so far.
No, the umpires seem to be, you know, as long as they don't go, they're in the middle. As long as they don't go past that middle bit.
Here we go, right on cue.
There we go. Now they've gone right across. So on the launches there, you've got the umpire standing up on the front of the boat, followed by any spectators sitting down. They're always, so you supporters of the cruise or anyone else who wants to pay for a ticket to follow in the launch. They're instructed to keep quiet. There's no cheering allowed from the launches. If you want to cheer, you have to be on the bank.
Sort of makes sense. You don't want to unduly influence the race, do you? But at the moment, it is that Cambridge composite, and it's that classic composite conundrum. Is if you put a composite together, generally speaking, I would expect you to be pretty high up in the rankings, and certainly they're doing a good job of that so far. They're almost out to a length already over Maidenhead.
Yeah, I mean in junior quad, often when you've got, I mean, they're all Cambridge based, and often they're going, you know, they're kind of going because they've been trialling at junior level and worked out they're trying to do something at junior level, and often you don't have, you know, maybe you don't have that many. You've got 3 clubs there. You don't have that many of a standard. So put them together, get a good crew for top regattas of the season.
I mean, what I find most remarkable is that these girls are no older than 16, and honestly, they scull better than I think I ever did. Seriously.
Yeah.
And you watch them and you think, honestly, it is remarkable how well they start, considering the exams and how young they are. And they can only have been rowing for at most 3 years.
Yeah, at most, and some of them, you know, some of them will have been a year. It's such a popular event. You know, the junior sculling. So we've got 2 events here at Women's Henley. We've got the junior sculls, which is the 17, 18-year-olds, and as you say, the J16. This is the J16 quad event here. That's right, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm catching myself. So I've just got the programme here. Both of them had to have a time trial to get through. So it's I think it's, you know, if we add it all together, it's the most popular event. More popular for schoolgirls, particularly the younger ones, to scull rather than row.
Yeah.
Much better for them in terms of body balance when you're young and your body's still growing. I hope that the training does look after their bodies better now. 20 years ago, when I didn't come up through a junior system, but I know that some coaches were a bit unscrupulous and had younger girls doing weights and they're, you know, good early on, but they're not really making it through because it's kind of damaging yourself. When you're this young, you really do have to think about the long term.
Yeah.
And think about balancing it both in terms of the rowing and in terms of academic as well. So back up for the second semi-final. Henley Rowing Club A on the left-hand side of the picture, and Surbiton High School. So we've got here another school and a club. And Henley Rowing Club, again, a club that's done masses bringing on junior, particularly junior girls rowing, I think, in the past few years.
Yep.
Got many crews. We've got a junior 16 quad. I think we've got a 4. They've got several crews represented into the semi-finals.
Well, it's a classic example here of the hunter and the hunted, I think. Henley have always been, certainly in the last 3 or 4 years, at the summit of junior rowing, and now Surbiton, who are a reasonably new programme, are trying to chase down, trying to close the gap, and actually Surbiton doing a very good job, because as I say, they're not one of the more established names, but they regularly feature towards the top of the junior rowing tree, and at the moment it is half a length to Henley, but the race is by no means decided at this stage, which it has been in previous runnings.
So both crews just under 36, about 36 strokes per minute. Keeping it up there, keeping it tapping along. Coming past those in the commentary position, we're going to get a good race, side-by-side race at this stage. It always seems a bit of a shame, when you've got the enclosures that start halfway down. The race is often on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
when you're watching the web commentary, this is when you get to see the race, and often it's decided by the time it comes to the enclosures. Henley's still holding on there. I can't, side, the composure. They're side by side. Look at that bow girl. Absolutely steely faced.
No drama.
Very proficient, very mature performance by what you said, J16 girls here, 15, 16-year-olds.
Surbiton doing a superb job of staying on their line. They're not letting Henley have it their own way, but it does look like Henley have turned the screw a little bit. It's probably just about a length now. They're trying to break clear. Obviously, Henley will know this course better than anybody does. They boat from just beyond the town bridge, so they will have intimate knowledge of all the, I say the twists and turns, it's a straight course, but all the way the river moves. And I think at the moment they're making full use of their station, moving across, and I think trying to disturb Surbiton's rowing. But as it stands, they are the better of the two crews and the faster.
Both crews on 32 now. You're just seeing that Henley boat, that really nice angle that it gives you from the back. You can just see how stable their shoulders are. So coming into the catch, how stable they hold their shoulders, how their bodies. They get their bodies over early, then hold that, and then just their hands coming up to take the catch. Particularly the bow girl there, you can just see her lifting her hands into the catch and holding the back. It's very tempting to use your back to take the catch. Just lifting your hands, using the strong lat muscles. Keep the hands relaxed. Nice shot there.
Well, as is so often the way with Henley crews, they do row exceptionally well, don't they? Because they're not always the biggest girls on the circuit, but in terms of their technical proficiency, I don't think there's many who can top them. And it's working a treat so far as they come up to the 40 marker.
Do we have a result from the previous one there?
We do. It was a win for the Isle of Ely composite. So that would be the Cambridge crew through to the final. They beat Maidenhead by a length and a quarter. And the two Elite Eights, the University of London composite and Ohio State, were the winners of their respective semi-finals. So they will meet in the final of the Elite Eights for the Ron Needs Challenge Trophy later on this afternoon. As it stands, Henley making a pretty good case to make it through to the final of the Junior 16 quad. So we'll move back up to the start for race 335, the first semi-final of the junior doubles, semi-junior events in this programme, which is wonderful to see. And this one is contested between Marlow Rowing Club, so reasonably local, on the Berkshire station, and Nottingham Rowing Club, another stalwart of the junior rowing scene, on the Buckinghamshire station. And the double was always a boat I had a tempestuous relationship with. When it works, it's lovely, but when it doesn't, and when you're in a double with someone you don't like, you don't row that well with, it is a nightmare.
That's so true. I don't know why that is, even more so than hair. I mean, yeah, you're kind of out there by yourself. You just absolutely do have to. It's either glorious or terrible.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
say. And I've had some of the best moments of my life in doubles, because in terms of sculling, it's just been, when it just clicks. Not even for a whole race, just for maybe 20 strokes of that race, and that's enough to take you through.
Yeah.
I had one. Actually, we're talking about Debbie Flood. I had one in a very important trial with Debbie Flood, and it just came through when we needed it to, and it just flew. And I still remember the feeling of that clicking when we needed it to, taking us through.
It's like Zen floating over the water.
Yeah. We never, and then I remembered it recently. I just thought, I was telling Daddy, we never raced it. We only ever raced it in a seat race. Actually, we never got to race it internationally. Maybe there's time for us yet. She's just, now she's not. Give her a few years
She's
off the
taking a
circuit.
breather.
Yeah. I've got a few years before I'm 50. Maybe I keep thinking I'll come back.
Come back, yeah.
Make a comeback.
Well,
On the veteran circuit when I'm old enough.
Catherine Granger did it.
Well, no, I'm not on the international. On the veteran circuit, when I'm old enough. Yeah. So we've got opposite end of the spectrum. Junior doubles. So I saw this Marlow double yesterday. I was on the launches, watched their race against Beckett School Rowing Club. They won by a length. They were fairly well pushed, and they're being pushed closer now. They've just got Campus to half a length lead.
Powerful girls, the Marlow girls.
Yeah.
Certainly got a lot more horsepower than the Nottingham crew.
Katie Ann Claridge and Abby Bird in the Marlow Rowing Club. Again, another club that's done so much for bringing through juniors.
Slightly shorter stroke as well from the Nottingham girls. I'm not sure if that's their style, if they're tightening up a little bit, but if they are tightening up, that will do them no favours as they move down the course. Marlow a little bit longer, look a little bit more composed on their station at the moment, but as you said, it's only about 3/4 of a length to Marlow, so there's certainly still time for Nottingham to respond. See you frantically tapping away at your rate app.
Well, my rate app, and it's got it set on 4 strokes to get a good average, so I have to wait. So I've checked it twice. I've got them still. Marlow's still at 34 there. I'm going to check it again because that does seem quite high. They look quite relaxed for that. I'd be surprised.
Well, some crews make 34.
34.
Like 24,
they are. They're making 34 look very easy and very relaxed, which is why they're moving away quite nicely there.
So you're trying to watch Nottingham's bow there on the right-hand side of your picture. It looks like, and it could be totally deceptive here, but it looks like they are mounting a bit of a charge. So we will keep an eye on that. The right-hand box at the top of your screen. But race 336 is underway, the second semi-final of the junior doubles, and it's Tideway Sculler School on the Berkshire station and Llandaff Rowing Club, excuse my pronunciation, on the Buckinghamshire station. Tideway Sculler School. It does seem to be the same sort of 4, 5, 6 clubs that feature so often. By
the time you get through to the semi-finals, yes. So Tideway Sculler's there, 39, set down to 39, just there, and Llandaff 37.
Just make sure we keep an eye on that Marlow Nottingham
yeah,
race,
because it definitely wasn't over, hey?
No,
it wasn't over.
I think Nottingham are mounting a bit of a sprint there.
Yeah, because Marlow, like I say, they'd had, in order to stay ahead, they'd had to keep their rating pretty high. They were looking relaxed, but they were at a high rate, which suggests that they were having to do a lot to stay there.
Yeah,
and getting a charge there, definitely.
Very close. I think it's pretty much neck and neck. Nottingham might even have slipped through. See if we can get that back onto the big screen, the Nottingham Marlow race, because at the moment, Llandaff in the other semi-final have moved
looking
out.
Good. They've moved out. We can come back to that one in a moment. But we're looking at this, all the action happening in the first semi-final, Marlow Rowing Club, Nottingham Rowing Club.
Can Nottingham, have they got the gear change one more time to really take it through to the line? Here we go, the final
Let's get
camera.
some names of these fantastic scullers here, these junior girls.
There we go, Nottingham winding it up, and I think they might well have broken the Marlow resistance.
So
Let's have a look.
Charlotte Brown and Lucy Holgate in the Nottingham Rowing Club boat. Absolute storming second half. We were just saying that when it clicks in a double, it really clicks, and you can make up a fantastic amount of distance, and that's what they've been able to do here.
Maybe they've had their zen moment.
They've had their zen. They've got into flow. They've pulled it up.
And they're definitely in the lead now as we come into the closing stages. Here we go, Nottingham are going to progress through to the final of the junior double, so we can return back to
well done.
the second semi-final.
Turned it round, and Llandaff, we've got another race on here because when we left them, they were nearly a length clear, but Tideway Scullers come back at them, challenging them hard, lift their rate, put in a push.
Llandaff need to be a little bit aware of their steering. There's a little look over there from their bow girl. She realised she drifted a bit. Looks like a bit of discrepancy in the timing.
She's being
from
warned,
Llandaff.
so they're just looking. So they're being warned now, having to go back. And that won't help them in this moment when they're being so heavily charged to have to get back on their steering, have to focus on that. So the steering, of course, and the double's done on the blades. Say the bow girl largely responsible for that. But I mean, it becomes intuitive if once you've sculled together long enough. It's not really either of your responsibility. You can just kind of tweaking it a little bit all the time, a little bit more here, a little bit more on the right blades, a little bit more on the left blades to keep it straight. Still maintaining, they're looking across there in that boat now. Tideway scullers.
Well, you'd expect
Keeping that
something.
charge.
You'd expect something big from Tideway Scullers when you're through the middle of the race. They're fierce racers, they always have been. I think it's still Llandaff by about half a length. It's a lovely shot, that.
So Llandaff slightly under rating. So you've got this charge going on by Tideway scullers. Llandaff, you don't know what's happening in there, whether they're just maintaining their cool or whether they're flat out as much as they can go. I mean, this is what you never know in side-by-side racing. You just have to, you'll be hurt, they'll be the legs of those Tideway scullers girls now will be absolutely screaming, and because they've been pushing so hard now to get back on terms. But you just don't know when the other crew's going to break. If you can just hold in now for 10 more strokes, maybe that might break them, maybe they might be just about to go. So they've really, I think, in the Tideway scullers, they've shortened up a bit there. They're not, it's almost like they're into their finishing sprint to stay on terms.
The backs are certainly coming through, aren't
Well,
they?
if you look, the shins aren't quite getting up to vertical. It's paying off for them, but this is like you might expect to see kind of
5 strokes out from the line.
Well, yeah, 20 strokes out for the line, definitely. So it's paying off for them. Can they hold it? Have they got the fitness to hold it? Llandaff, you see they're getting their backs over. They're maintaining a longer stroke. So we've gone up to the start now. We've got J16 4s, which we can introduce, but we're going to keep looking at that junior doubles going on. So the J16 4s between Headington School B on the Berkshire Station, the right-hand side of your picture now as you can see it, and Marlow Rowing Club in the blue boat. Distinctive for us in that picture. So junior 16 cocked 4s. What have we got going on in the doubles?
Both crews winding it up. Be interesting to see if that early charge from Tideway Scullers has paid dividends. I think it has as they come through. It looks like Scullers have the advantage as they move towards the line. There we go. They've got.
Wow.
That is a win for the Tideway Scullers. You can see the arms go up at the stroke girl. She's delighted.
What a massive sprint out. So they basically took it on from 1,000 and just sprinted. They had the fitness. I said, have they got the fitness? They did have the fitness. So going back up. So that will be. They'll go through to race Nottingham Rowing
yes,
Club.
Indeed, Nottingham Tideway in the final. So yeah, we return race 337, and it's Headington on what is probably the right-hand side of your picture more so, and Marlow on the left. Slightly confusing. Headington in blue kit, Marlow in a blue boat. So don't make a mistake. But at the moment, it is Marlow who are leading this reasonably comfortably, considering they're only just coming past our position at the barrier. They've nearly got a length. No need to panic at this stage. There's a time left in this race, and you can see hear some cheers go up from the assembled Headington support just below us.
So Marlow about 34, Headington about 35, and you can see actually, these are young girls, and the weight of that boat. We were talking before about J16 sculling and how that might be better. You wouldn't want to spend too long rowing 4s, I think. Good to do it for some racing. But they've got the weight of it'll be tiny coxes, hey. But still, you've got the boat, and you've got smaller girls racing these heavier boats, and they're having to work hard. You can see how much work they're having to put on in the second half of that stroke. But really important to have these cox boats in the junior events, particularly in the younger junior events, to bring on coxes. By the time you get up into we've lost another coxed event. The senior 4s has gone from cox to coxless. More of the boats become coxes. It's really important to keep developing coxes, giving them a chance. It's much better for the development of the rowers to be in coxed boats where they can have some input. Charged by Headington, look at that. They caught their blades a little bit. They're really going for it. A little bit bent arms, because they're kind of going for it so much. Blades bouncing a little bit off the water.
You are certainly right there. there's definitely benefits, more benefits I think to sculling at this age than there are perhaps to rowing, especially when the girls are still growing.
You've got that kind of torsion and twist.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
see how heavy that is to move it. For boys rowing as well, really. I think they do spend more time in the singles, and but it's just, you know, actually when I do some coaching on rowing, some rowing camps, they, you know, quite often the kids won't have done any rowing when they really love having a go at the rowing. You know, it's something new and they really enjoy it. But to spend most of the time training in sculling and then swap over and do some rowing for racing, it's great to have the all-over ability to develop both of those. And we got back up to the start for the second semi-final of the J16 coxed fours between, bit of a rocky looking Putney High there, Putney High School, against Lee Rowing Club.
They seem to be doing remarkably well, considering the fact that all four girls seem to be rowing in different races from each other at this moment. And that's about half a length already to Putney, but contrary to any technical people out there, they seem to be using their raw power to move ahead, and they've already got a length at the end of the island. That's remarkable. And every stroke, if you watch the stern of their boat, every stroke it moves away from the bow of the crew from Godolphin and Lee from Lee.
Wow, they had a rocky start, but a very, very powerful start. So this Putney High School crew, coached by Olympic silver medalist Jess, and I don't know if she's following them in the launch, but they've had some good input. Looking. Eddie, thank you for that. It was just, I couldn't quite get there. I bumped into her yesterday and I was like, oh, you've seen it? Yeah, she's there.
I know her face, yeah.
So she's been, since she retired from rowing, with her silver medal, hugely well-deserved silver medal. She's been coaching at Putney High, and the girls seem to see the benefit there. Lee Rowing Club looking much shorter, they're struggling a bit. Now some 3 or 4 lengths down. Again, for both these crews, it's just looking, you know, quite heavy weather, isn't it? Compared to the quads, they were just able to keep it up there, keep it tapping along.
It does look like harder work.
It does look like harder work. You know, they've got even bigger, longer, heavier blades. But they, you know, they don't have the responsibility for the younger girls. It is good to have these coxed boats. They don't have the responsibility of steering, getting themselves up to the start. And that Putney High School boat is tipping a lot, isn't it? And but they're still.
It is, yeah. I mean,
they're really putting the work on. They must have done some training. They must be pretty fit, I think.
Well, I think it's maybe back up to the start of the junior coxed fours. So this is under 18 coxed fours, and it's race 339, and it is Henley Rowing Club on the Berkshire Station and Marion Mercy Academy from